Okay, just finishing up the final example from similar triangle word problems. I've actually done this because I've done some surveying, and I did it at a lagoon, and I wasn't too keen on wading through a human waste lagoon just to measure it out. Because whenever I introduce this in class, usually the guys are like, "Oh, just get a boat, man, and measure it across," or they'll say, "Oh, just swim across." Yeah, but the lagoon wasn't too appealing. So the farther I could stay away, the better, and that's kind of what I did here. So to measure the distance across the lake, for this example, the triangles are set up. So what are the distances across? So we already have the diagram here. Here's our first triangle, and here's our second triangle. Okay, so we have our two triangles, 1 and 2, and we have some measurements. So since the diagram's already done, I'm going to jump and already set up the ratio. So opposite angle theorem from first day of lessons here. We know those two angles are going to be equal. These two lines are parallel. So we know from the Z pattern that this angle and this angle are the same, which means that these two angles are the same as well. So setting up my ratio, I'm going to use triangle 1. So I'll start with DE, and the next one will be DC. So I'm taking all my measurements in CE, taking all my measurements off the small triangle. Now I go to the big triangle. DE, it's x to square, so that's going to be BA. DC is x to dot, so that's going to be my BC. And CE is going to be dot to square, so that's going to be CA. All right. Now I'm going to plug in the information that was collected. So this is information that if you're a surveyor, you're out measuring, this is what you're sending back to the office. All right. So DE is 412. All right. So 412 meters. BA, I don't know what it is. DC is given. It's 260. BC is given. It's 1,264. CE is given. 308. And I don't know CA. All right, so what does it want me to do? What is the distance across the lake? So across the lake would be from A to B, so that's what I want to know. So that's BA or AB. There's the unknown I want. So when you're looking at what do I need, I can solve both fractions here, but don't be fooled. The surveyor, since you're probably going to be the smarter person on the team here, this CE measurement was really extra information because we really don't need this third fraction. I don't want to know what CA is. I could step it out if I want. So the surveyor, whoever was out collecting this data, gave us way too much information. So it's something you need to be able to realize when you're going through some of these real world problems here. So we want to solve 412 over BA equals 260 over 1,264. Do a cross multiply here. So 412 times 1264, and that's equal to 260 BA. I want to get BA by itself, so I'm going to divide both sides by 260. Now I'll get BA by itself. So the trick to this question really was twofold. It was A, finding where the similar triangles were or how they laid out, and secondly, realizing you had too much information. So doing a quick calculation just to finish this one up, 412 times the 1264, and then I'm going to divide that by 260. So we find that this lake is about 2,003 meters wide. So therefore, the lake is 2,003 meters wide. So about, oh boy, meters, M, wide. So about 2 kilometers in width. Okay, and not very often we don't have a tape measure that's 2 kilometers wide. So people are saying, "Oh, let's measure it." We don't have a 2-kilometer measuring tape. So anyway, that's how that one works out. So now you have a series of word problems that you need to go through. There'll be some tricky ones thrown in there. So if you have any questions or you want anything re-explained, please make sure you do ask, and I can give you a hand.